Aloha mai kako, and good morning, everyone. It is now 10 a.m. and we're calling to order the April 8th, 2026 Land Use Commission meeting. This is a hybrid meeting being held in person at the Airport Conference Center in Hawaiian Airlines Terminal Building at 400 Rogers Boulevard, 7th floor, room number 3, Honolulu, Hawaii 96819, and with virtual participation via Zoom. This meeting is open to the public. Please be advised that this meeting is being recorded via Zoom, and the recording will be posted on YouTube and used for court reporting purposes. Your continued participation is your implied consent to be part of the public record of this event. If you do not wish to be part of the public record, you should exit this meeting now. For those attending via Zoom, please note that the question and answer feature will only be used for signing up for public testimony. All other communications through Zoom will not be monitored or made part of the meeting record. Written communications can be emailed to the Land Use Commission office at dbedt.luc.web@hawaii.gov. For all meeting participants, please speak clearly, slowly, and directly into your microphone. And before speaking, please state your name to identify yourself for the record. We will also share with all participants that we will take breaks from time to time, around 60 minutes or so. And for commissioners participating remotely, please state your location and whether anyone over the age of 18 is present with you. My name is Brian Lee, and I will be serving as the LUC chair today. There are currently 8 seated commissioners, and joining me today is Commissioner Melka Hele from Oahu, Commissioner Bruce U'u via Zoom. Commissioner U'u, will you please confirm that you're by yourself?
I am in my office and alone.
Thank you. Commissioner Michael Yamane from Kauai, Commissioner Miles Miyasato from Hawaii Island, and Commissioner Nancy Carr-Smith from Hawaii Island. Also in attendance with us is the LUC Executive Officer, Daniel Ordenker, the LUC Chief Planner, Scott Derrickson, LUC Staff Planner, Martina Segura, the LUC Chief Clerk, Ariana Kwan, and the LUC Attorney General, Miranda Steed, via Zoom. Do we need to have Miranda confirm that she's by herself?
I am by myself, but no need to confirm.
Okay, thanks for that for future reference. Again, I guess the AG's office has special dispensation. Again, the court reporting transcriptions are being done from this Zoom recording. So we're going to go to agenda item number 2, A92-683 Halekua Development Corporation on Oahu. The next order of business is to consider Haseko Royal Kunia LLC's motion to amend the Memorandum of Understanding Off-Site Infrastructure Date in Condition A1 filed October 7, 2024 to amend the MOU's off-site infrastructure date in Condition A1 to be consistent with the 6th Amendment to amend and restatement of MOU dated December 17th, 2025. Will the parties please identify themselves for the record? Petitioner, will you please identify yourself?
Thank you. Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the Commission. Curtis Tabata here for Haseko. Also present with me are Peter Kwan, Haseko Vice President, and Kelly Uwaini, Haseko In-House Counsel.
Okay, the City and County of Honolulu Department of Planning and Permitting.
Good morning, Pono Arias, Deputy Corporation Counsel on behalf of the City and County of Honolulu. On Zoom is Dina Wong from DPP as well.
Thank you, Councillor. The State Office of Planning and Sustainable Development.
Good morning, Alison Kato, Deputy Attorney General on behalf of the Office of Planning and Sustainable Development. Also here with me from the Office of Planning and Sustainable Development is the Land Use Division Administrator, Leo Ascension. And just noting that department representatives are here from the Department of Agriculture and Biosecurity. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Tabata, have you reviewed Hawaii Administrative Rules Section 15-15-45.1 regarding the reimbursement of hearing expenses?
Yes, and we will comply, Chair.
Thank you. So now, in accordance with Hawaii Revised Statute, Section 84-14, commissioners are not allowed to take any official action affecting a business in which they or a member of their family has any financial interest. They must therefore recuse themselves from this matter if there is any benefit, monetary or otherwise, to themselves or members of their family. Also, in accordance with legal ethical standards, commissioners should disclose any relationship, business, social, or otherwise, that they may have with the petitioner or its representatives, or any of the other parties to this proceeding that may give rise to an allegation of bias or impropriety. Do any of the commissioners have any conflicts of interest or disclosures to make? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. Let me now briefly explain the procedures for today. First, we will recognize the written public testimony that has been submitted on this matter. Next, we'll call for members of the public who wish to provide oral testimony on this matter. Third, the staff planner will then give us a briefing on the staff report that has been posted for this docket. Fourth, the petitioner will then be called upon to make their presentation. Fifth, we will then call on the County Planning Department and then the State Office of Planning and Sustainable Development for their presentation and/or comments. Sixth, the commissioners will then have opportunities to ask questions of the parties at the conclusion of each of their presentations. Then the parties will be given an opportunity for closing arguments. Number 8, I will then reopen the floor to the public for any new and additional oral testimony on this matter. And 9, finally, the commission will deliberate on this matter based on the testimony and evidence presented. We would like to once again remind all participants to speak slowly, clearly, and directly into their microphones and to state your name and identify yourself for the record before speaking. This ensures that our transcriber can produce an accurate transcription of this proceeding. Are there any questions now about our procedure for today? Okay, thank you. And as stated on today's agenda, please be informed that the relevant records and documents pertaining to this matter can be accessed for review on the LUC website at luc.hawaii.gov/A92-683. All right, we'll now recognize any written public testimony submitted on this matter. Ms. Kwan, has there been any written testimony submitted?
Chair, we received 2 testimonies, one from RK2 Partners and one from Ho'ohana Solar. Both have been posted to the website.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Kwan. Are there any members of the public that wish to provide oral testimony on this matter?
Nobody used the Q&A feature to indicate they would like to give testimony right now.
Thank you, Ms. Kwan. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Lim, you wanted to provide oral testimony? Yes, yes, please.
Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the Commission and parties. I'm Jennifer Lim and I represent Ho'ohana Solar One LLC. As you may or may not remember, Ho'ohana has done this beautiful big solar farm project that's in a portion of the petition area. It's a separate portion of the petition area from the portion that Haseko is going to develop. And the gentleman with me today, just so that you're not wondering, is Hai Wang, who is the asset manager for the Ho'ohana Solar project. It's his first time before the Land Use Commission, and he just wanted to get a little bit familiar with what goes on over here. And of course, the project is very important to him. So to get to the point, we submitted testimony. We intentionally submitted testimony. We didn't file something to become a party in this. And I hope in that testimony that we filed on, I submitted on April 3rd, but the commission received it on Monday, April 6th. We did make it clear we're not opposed to the motion. Haseko's goal of getting an extension to a deadline for work that they have to do. Yep.
Before you proceed any further, I need to swear you in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no? Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm bound as an officer of the court to be giving honest testimony. Anyway, we're not against their motion. Joseco's motion is pertaining to a deadline that applies to Joseco and only Joseco. And we wish them the very best with their project and with getting an extension on the deadline. And I think we've made that clear in prior presentations before the commission. But what we were concerned about, and again, I recognize that this is not the core center of the motion, but we were concerned when we saw certain language in the MOU that we are not a party to, but the MOU that is the basis for the motion. The MOU is between Joseco and the Department of Ag and Biosecurity. Again, we're not a party to it. We don't have responsibilities under it. We didn't negotiate it. But when we looked at it, because it is an exhibit to the motion, there's a section in that MOU, section M, that in one short paragraph has many statements that as to Ho'ohana, we assert are erroneous. At a minimum, they're misleading, and at worst, they're erroneous. That doesn't mean that their agreement is valid or invalid. I take no position on that. I'm not representing either of those parties. But what is important, most important to Ho'ohana, and why we took this time and why we have a representative who came too, is we want this commission's record to be clear as to Ho'ohana's obligations. The commission knows, you ordered it. We had to install a water line. That's done. You made a finding in, was it 2024? You know, that water line is in, it's done, it's completed. We had to get a grant of easement from the landowner so that the state could operate that water line and have that water line there. That's done. It's been recorded. You've seen that. That's on the record. It's in findings that you've previously put into orders. The water that we're the water line is to support the Department of Ag. It's as far as we know, based on anything that we've ever been tasked with, it's to support only the Department of Ag Park. So there were some statements in that section M of the MOU that says it's for Royal Kenia Phase 1 and Phase 2. I mean, that's beyond what we were told we were putting the water line in for. And then finally, there's a reference in section M, and again, it's all in our written testimony, that the two parties to that MOU had to committed to using best efforts to get Ho'ohana to do what we're obligated to do. And that is just really galling, because Ho'ohana has done what it is obligated to do. As far as the Department of Ag, the water line is in, the easement has been granted. The other obligation that we have is to maintain that water line. The water line and only the water line, it is crystal clear in your orders to maintain that water line for the period that the solar farm is in place. Ho'ohana is ready, willing, and able to do that. We've communicated that directly to the Department of Ag this past summer. There's nothing undone on Ho'ohana's side of the ledger. As to Joseco, and again, I say this, I'm uncomfortable creating tension when there's no need to create tension. We're just here to bring clarity. Ho'ohana had an agreement with Joseco. It was an agreement where both parties got together to basically pick contractors, get bidding, and get the infrastructure work done. And that's been completed. So it was galling to read in this section M that Joseco was going to use best efforts, to get us to comply with an agreement that we've already complied with. So I could say a whole lot more about what's in our testimony, but I'm respectful of your time, and this is just public testimony, so I'll rest there. If you have any questions, we're more than happy to speak at length, but like I said, this isn't the core of your meeting. We just want to make sure that your record is clear and that facts don't get confused in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Lim. Commissioners, do you have questions for the testifier? Okay, well, can I ask you, having put forth your statements and your testimony, do you feel that that is enough to satisfy the record for your purposes?
Well, I mean, ideally, I would want the commission's motion to reflect what's in this testimony. Again, I recognize that the motion Haseko filed is simply to extend their deadline, and their deadline has nothing to do with our deadline, and so I don't want to mix apples to oranges. But a statement from the commission confirming, recognizing the accuracy in this testimony would be beneficial, certainly.
Okay, Mr. Tabata, would you have a problem with a statement like that from the commission?
Haseko is taking no position on the points raised in Ho'ohana's testimony. We leave it to the commission to decide the contents of its decision and order.
Do you question or disagree with what Ms. Lim has stated?
For today, Chair, we take no position. We're not prepared to verify or deny any of the statements, just to stay within the confines of our motion for today.
Okay, thank you. Any final questions for testifier? Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Kwan, are there any other requests for verbal testimony?
Seeing none in the Q&A feature.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Kwan. We will now call on Staff Planner Ms. Segura to please summarize the staff's report for us and any staff concerns.
Good morning. This is Martina Segura for the record. The staff report was posted on April 1st before we received a filing from OPSD and the Ho'ohana filing, which was received on April 6th. So in summary, the OPSD filing was not included in our staff report, but they restated their support and includes a comment letter from the Department of Ag and Biosecurity. And the Ho'ohana filing, which was just summarized by Mrs. Lim, pointed out some potential errors in the MOU, specifically Section M, which can be found in the petitioner's motion on Exhibit 6, page 60 of the PDF, and Section M is on page 66 of the PDF. So with those two filings, the staff recommendation that was posted on the staff report is slightly amended. We slightly amended our staff recommendation. We recommend the commission have the parties in the MOU amend Section M, specifically Section M, to clarify that on the record, as it's a filing that mentions important dates and conditions that the commission already issued findings on previously. Staff does not have a problem with the extension of the MOU dates whatsoever. We're in strong support of the dates in the MOU. We just have some concerns regarding Section M.
Thank you, Ms. Segura. Commissioners, are there any questions for Ms. Segura? Ms. Kwan, Commissioner Carr-Smith.
What's her name? I didn't realize that the staff report had been amended.
We actually did not issue an amendment to the staff report just to be in compliance with Chapter 91 and 92. We were kind of pushing the dates on that, so we decided as a team that we were going to verbally issue an amendment during this section.
Any other questions for Ms. Segura? Okay, thank you. Petitioner, will you now please provide your presentation?
Thank you, Chair. Curtis Tabata for Haseko. Today's motion that Haseko filed is to extend the deadline to provide temporary functional electrical power to the state agricultural park that is adjacent to the Royal Kunia 2 project. The project was reclassified in 1993, approximately 504 acres in West Oahu, from the state agricultural district to the state urban district, for land uses that are now designated as residential, light industrial, public parks, and an elementary school. Chair, if I may, share screen, Exhibit 2. Thank you. The current ownership of the petition area is shown on Exhibit 2 of our motion, which is included in the handout and on share screen right now. Ownership of the petition area includes Haseko, which owns the land for the residential housing component of the project. Robinson Cuneo Land owns the land that is leased to Ho'ohana Solar, who has the existing solar energy facility. RK2 Partners is the owner of the light industrial component, and RKES owns the land for the future elementary school. Adjacent land in the northwestern corner of the project, shown in blue on Exhibit 2, is the parcel owned by the state of Hawaii for the agricultural park. The original 1993 DNO for the project included a requirement that the petitioner construct off-site infrastructure improvements up to the boundary of the agricultural park. The non-potable irrigation water system and the temporary potable water line have been completed, and the temporary electricity is the subject of today's motion. The permanent infrastructure for the State Agricultural Park will be constructed together with the roadway that will connect to the agricultural park and will include potable water, electricity, gravity sewer, and communications. Currently, the agricultural park is not yet developed. To fulfill the requirement to provide the off-site infrastructure to the agricultural park, the original petitioner entered into a memorandum of understanding with the Department of Agriculture and Biosecurity. For today, I'll just refer to them as the Department of Agriculture, to provide the terms by which the infrastructure would be provided. The LUC's most recent order was entered in 2024 and provided off-site infrastructure deadlines based upon the fifth amended MOU between Haseko and the Department of Agriculture, which provided three categories of off-site infrastructure. One, non-potable irrigation water. Two, temporary infrastructure. And three, the permanent infrastructure. The non-potable irrigation water line was to be constructed up to the Department of Agriculture's property by August 31, 2024. The temporary infrastructure, comprising of functional electricity and potable water, was to be completed by December 31, 2025. The permanent infrastructure is to be constructed by September 30th, 2028. The non-potable irrigation water line was completed and accepted by the Department of Agriculture on October 1st, 2025. The temporary potable water line was completed on January 15, 2026, but Haseko has not been able to complete the temporary electrical line because Hawaiian Electric, also known as HECO, requires that there be an end user for the electrical power in order for the temporary electrical facilities to be installed. Because of the anticipated missed deadline, Haseko and the Department of Agriculture entered into the sixth amended MOU on December 17, 2025. The sixth amended MOU is attached to our motion as Exhibit 6. The sixth amended MOU extends the deadline for the construction of the temporary electrical line until there is an end user of the electricity at the agricultural park. But no temporary electrical line will be required after September 30th, 2028, when the permanent infrastructure is completed. because once the permanent infrastructure is completed, there will be no need for any temporary infrastructure. With the sixth amended MOU signed, we filed our motion to extend the deadline on December 26, 2025. Chair, may I share screen exhibits 7, 8, and 9?
Yes.
Thank you. Exhibit 7 are photographs of the temporary potable water line. The route of the water line starts on the first page is the route of the water line, which starts at the end of Ananui Street and loops northward to the eastern side of the agricultural park, providing the connection at the same location as the future provision of their permanent utilities. The location of Ananui Street, if you go back to Exhibit 2, Ananui Street, you can see it on the lower right-hand corner of the map. And at that end of the Ananui Street is the beginning of the temporary potable water line, which, you go back to Exhibit 7, loops up to the eastern boundary of the state agricultural park. On the second page of Exhibit 7, we have the existing fire hydrant, which is the source of the potable water. And and hooked up to that is the BWS temporary water meter. That's on page 2 of Exhibit 7. On page 3 of Exhibit 7, we have pictures of the 3-inch temporary potable water line running along the perimeter of Haseko's property. I believe the fourth page is more photographs of the 3-inch temporary water line. And on the final page of Exhibit 7, we have the terminus of the 3-inch potable water line with a valve in transition to a capped 2-inch PVC conduit stub out for future Department of Agriculture connection. Moving on to Exhibit 8, we have the temporary electrical power plan and a photograph of the future location of the temporary electricity. The temporary electrical power plan on the top of Exhibit 8 was approved by HECO on October 6, 2025. And on the bottom half of Exhibit 8, we have the photograph of the future location of the temporary electrical line that will cross Kunia Road from existing utility poles. You can see those on the right-hand side of the photo. And then there are future power lines that will cross Kunia Road and connect to a temporary pole that will be located on the western side of the agricultural park at the location of the Department of Agriculture's future intersection with Kunia Road. You can see in the photo, there's going to be a temporary HECO meter and temporary transformer and can see that there's a connection. There's also the connection to the state agricultural park. It's called a stub and cap for the future underground utility service. Final Exhibit 9 is our photographs of the non-potable irrigation system pump equipment that Haseko constructed at the reservoir site. As previously mentioned, this irrigation system is complete and has been turned over to the Department of Agriculture. The photographs show the pump equipment, the HECO electric meter, transformer, and secondary conduit to the pump equipment. In conclusion, Chair, ASECO requests an order that replaces the old condition A1 in the 2024 DNO with a new condition A1 that is provided on page 8 of our memorandum in support of motion. And that concludes our motion, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tabata. Commissioners, do you have any questions for Mr. Tabata? Commissioner Yamani.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Tabata, on the MOU Fifth Amendment and the MOU Sixth Amendment on Section M, was that modified? Or is that the same wording from the Fifth Amendment MOU to the Sixth Amendment on Section M?
It's based on my review, they're identical. From the 5th to the 6th,
Yeah.
they're identical.
Okay. Meaning, just what does that mean, technical?
Well, I guess to go back further, in 2021, there was a fourth amended MOU. Okay. I think it may have been 2020. And then Ho'ohana, they filed a motion to allow the construction of their solar facility. And their motion was granted, and they were required to comply with a new condition B1. And then after that order was issued, ASECO and the Department of Agriculture had to work on a fifth amended MOU because we needed to extend our deadline back then in 2024. And that's when the language in Section M was first created. Prior in the fourth amended MOU, I believe Section M merely referred to the requirements of the petitioner to provide both the land and the offsite infrastructure to the agricultural park. But after the creation of the new condition B1, the Section M was changed into what it reads today.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Commissioner Yamani. Anyone else with questions for Mr. Tabata? Okay, seeing none. Thank you, Mr. Tabata. City and County of Honolulu, will you please present your comments?
Thank you, Chair and Commissioners. Very briefly, the city will stand on its written testimony, basically that it has no objections to the amendment, and that because the Department of Agriculture is the entity that is building the ag park and will receive the benefit of this infrastructure, they are in a better position to give more substantive comments on this issue. But to that extent, the city does not object to this amendment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arias. Commissioners, any questions for the City and County of Honolulu? Okay, if not, thank you. State Office of Planning and Sustainable Development, please present your comments.
Hello, Allison Cotto on behalf of OPSD. We don't really have anything new to add. OPSD supports this motion. It reflects the agreement between Department of Agriculture and HASECO, which is in their sixth amended MOU. The requested change is only a change in the deadline to provide electrical power, which was caused by TECO's requirements. HASECO has done everything they can at this point with respect to temporary infrastructure to the ag park. So OPSD supports this motion and would like to see this project continue to move forward to provide housing and permanent infrastructure to the ag park. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Kato. Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Kato? Okay, Thank you. Petitioner, do you now have any final comments you would like to make at this time? Mr. Tabata, do you have any closing arguments you would like to make?
No, Chair, thank you. Nothing more to add.
Okay, thank you. County, do you have any closing arguments you would like to make?
Nothing to add.
Thank you. OPSD, do you have any closing arguments you would like to make?
No, nothing to add. Thank you.
All right, commissioners, do you have any final questions or comments for the parties before we enter deliberations? Commissioner Carr-Smith.
Chair, I was wondering if we could hear any potential comments from Department of Ag.
The Department of Ag, can you please come to the public testimony? And are you an attorney?
Yes, Kelsey Nagata, Deputy Attorney General, representing the Department of Agriculture and Biosecurity. Thank you for hearing this motion. We agree with Haseko, suing County OPSD and we support the motion and it should be granted. We again have entered into agreement with Haseko to extend the deadline for the temporary infrastructure, at least for electrical, pursuant to HECO's requirements. And I'm available for any further questions.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Carr-Smith, is that satisfactory? Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, we'll now open a second round of public testimony for any new or additional comments only. For anyone participating via Zoom, please notify the chief clerk using the question and answer feature. Ms. Kwan, are there any requests now to testify?
Seeing none in the Q&A feature, Chair.
Okay, thank you. All right, the commission will now conduct formal deliberations on the petitioner's motion to amend the memorandum of understanding off-site infrastructure date in condition A1. Is there any desire to consult with our Attorney General, Ms. Steed, on our powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and liabilities? Commissioners? Okay, I don't see any. All right. I will now note for the parties and the public that during the commission's deliberations, we will not entertain any additional input from the parties or the public unless those individuals or entities are specifically requested to do so by the chair. If called upon, I will ask that any comments be limited to the question at hand. So commissioners, let me now confirm that each of you has reviewed the record and is prepared to deliberate on this matter. After I call your name, will you please signify with either an aye or a nay that you're prepared to deliberate on this matter? Commissioner Carr-Smith.
Aye.
Commissioner Kahele.
Aye.
Commissioner Kamakea Ohelo is not here. Commissioner Miyasato.
Aye.
Commissioner Yamane.
Aye.
And Commissioner Uu.
Aye.
And I, Brian Lee, am also prepared to deliberate on this matter. Okay, commissioners, we'll now entertain a motion to amend the memorandum of understandings off-site infrastructure date in condition A1 filed October 7th, 2024, the 2024 DNO, to amend the memorandum of understandings off-site infrastructure date in condition A1 to be consistent with the Sixth Amendment to the amendment and restatement of memorandum of understanding dated December 17, 2025, known as the Sixth Amended MOU, and adopt the condition language in the 2025 motion and authorize the chairperson to execute the order necessary to effectuate the commission's decision, subject to review and approval by the Department of the Attorney General. Does anyone wish to make such a motion?
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Miyasato.
Yeah, I'll move to make that motion, but I would want to put out for discussion or how do I put this? We'd like to recognize the testimony by Ho'ohana. That was stated in this hearing.
Okay, is there a second to the motion?
I'll second that.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Uu. Let's have some discussion on this. Does anyone, Commissioner Kahele, did you have any comments?
No, Chair, I'm just gonna second the motion.
Thank you. Any discussion? Commissioner Carr-Smith?
I'm not clear, what the comment was about the testimony and how that fits into the motion.
I believe that Commissioner Miyasato just wanted us to recognize for the record the statements made by counsel for Ho'ohana Solar. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, any further discussion?
No effect on the tasks at hand or deadlines. Just a statement also, I agree with the department state, our staff, county, that Hoseko has shown progress. As far as the electrical, that end user needs to be established. So I feel they have made substantial progress that they were able to do. I guess one quick comment though, just a side note, nothing to do with the motion or anything. Just an observation on Exhibit 8. Exhibit 7, you might just want to know on the back end of page 7, on your double backflow preventer, you might want to double check your clearance. There's a brush fire in the area. Fire department needs, the wrench is about 19 inches. Looks like your blocking is in the way. You can find a broken, if they need to take that apart, they're just going to break it. So you just might want to check your clearance to wrench that operator valve on the 6-inch on the back end. Yeah. Normally they need 21 inches. That's all, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Miyasato. I would like to ask our Madam Deputy Attorney General, Miranda Steed, if she has any comments on the motion or the proper wording.
I don't specifically have comments. If you want assistance wording it, I'd recommend you go into executive session.
Okay, so now do we have any motion to enter into executive session to speak with our Deputy Attorney General?
Sounds like that may be a segue from her, so I'll make a motion.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Miyasato. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Carr-Smith. Mr. Rodenker, will you please conduct the roll call vote?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The motion is to go into executive session. Commissioner Miyasato.
Aye.
Commissioner Carr-Smith.
Aye.
Commissioner Kahele.
Aye.
Commissioners Kamakeo, Hello, and Hayashida are absent. Commissioner Uu.
Aye.
Commissioner Yamane.
Aye.
Chair Lee.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. We'll excuse the parties and we'll call you back as soon as we're done. Thank you. All right, everyone, we're back from executive session where we discussed our motion and any ramifications with our Deputy Attorney General, Miranda Steed. All right. Based on our discussions, is there any motion or motion to amend?
Chair.
Commissioner Miyasato.
Yeah, I'd like to amend my motion.
Okay, please proceed.
So I'd like to approve the MOU as stated. But I would like to amend in recognizing the testimony, I would want to amend that to have section M stricken from our approval.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Chair, I'll second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. May we have a roll call vote?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. The motion, excuse me. The motion is to approve the MOU as stated with section M stricken. Commissioner Miyasato.
Aye.
Commissioner Kahele.
Aye.
Commissioners Koike and Hayashida, Kamakeo, Hello, and Hayashida are absent. Commissioner Uu,
Aye.
Commissioner Yamane,
Aye.
Vice Chair Carr Smith,
Aye.
Chair Lee.
Aye.
The motion passes unanimously.
Okay, we'll now go back to our original motion with the amendments. And is there any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, I believe we're ready for the vote. Mr. Odenker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The motion is to approve the MOU with section M stricken. There are different seconders, but okay. Commissioner Miyasato.
Aye.
Commissioner Carr Smith. I'm sorry, Commissioner Uu was actually the second on that motion. Commissioner Uu,
Aye.
Commissioner Yamane,
Aye.
Commissioner Kahele,
Aye.
Chair Lee.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you to all the parties for your presentations. We will now move to agenda item number 3. Thank you. We'll give you folks a few minutes to get yourselves together. Okay, agenda item number 3. We'll now move to an update on the 2026 Hawaii State legislative bills relating to measures that may impact the Land Use Commission. For those attending via Zoom and wish to provide oral testimony on agenda item 3A, 3B, or 3C, please indicate your request using the Q&A feature so that the chief clerk may place you in the queue. Please identify which agenda item you may wish to testify on. And before we begin, I want to briefly explain the procedures for agenda item number 3. First, we will provide a summary of the bill. Second, we'll acknowledge any written testimony that has been received. And third, we'll call for members of the public who wish to provide oral testimony. Fourth, once testimony concludes, we'll then open the floor for commissioner questions, comments, or discussion. And fifth, finally, we will then reopen the floor to the public for any new and additional oral testimony on this matter. I will again remind all commissioners and staff to speak slowly, clearly, and directly into the microphone, and to identify yourselves by name for the record, which will help our transcribers accurately capture the proceedings. All right, agenda item 3A, SB 2156 SD1 relating to land use permits film production on certain land zoned for agricultural use under certain conditions, including obtaining land use special permits. Establishes the Agricultural Film Production Land Use Oversight Committee within the Creative Industries Division of the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism to establish film permit application requirements and processes, facilitate the issuance of special permits for film production on agricultural zoned parcels, and advise and make recommendations relating to the regulation of film productions on agricultural zone lands. It requires DBEDT to adopt the rules and requires DBEDT to consult with state and county agencies to issue permits for film production within an agricultural district using the consolidated film permit process under certain circumstances, and includes the temporary filming activities as a permissible conditional accessory use of lands within the agricultural district. Currently, it's written to be effective 7/1/2050 for the SD1. Mr. Odenker. Oh, I'm sorry. Before Mr. Odenker speaks, I will now recognize any written public testimony on this matter. Ms. Kwan, has there been any written testimony?
No, Mr. Chair.
Ms. Kwan, is there any member of the public that wishes to provide oral testimony on this matter?
Nobody has used the Q&A feature to give testimony today, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Odenker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our latest information is that this bill failed to make first lateral in the Senate, and absent some last minute rule amendments, it is probably not going to pass.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, any discussion or questions on this bill? Okay, hearing none, we'll now open for a second round of public testimony for any new or additional comments only. For those that may be participating via Zoom, please notify the chief clerk using the Q&A feature. Ms. Kwan, is there any request to testify?
No, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Agenda item 3B is HB 1737 HD3 SD1 relating to farm employee housing. It clarifies the allowable uses within agricultural districts with respect to farm dwellings and farm employee housing. Currently, the SD1 is effective 7/1/2050. Is there any written public testimony on this matter, Ms. Kwan?
No, Mr. Chair.
Is there any member of the public that wishes to provide oral testimony, Ms. Kwan?
Seeing none in the Q&A feature, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Odenker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This measure is currently scheduled to be heard in final committee in the Senate, which is the Judiciary Committee, on Thursday, April 9th at 10:01 a.m. Staff has not testified on this bill or its companion SB 2006, which was not heard in the Senate. The primary impact on this bill will be on counties to verify bona fide agricultural activity in existence prior to permitting farm dwellings and farm worker housing. And in other words, the burden on this one is going to be on the counties to verify whether or not the housing is legitimate, legitimately associated with an agricultural activity.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, is there any discussion or questions on this bill? Okay, hearing none, we now open it for a second round of public testimony, if any, for new or additional comments only. For anyone participating via Zoom, please notify the chief clerk using the Q&A feature. Ms. Kwan, are there any requests to testify?
None in the Q&A feature, Chair.
Okay, thank you. We're going to now move on to agenda item 3C, HB 1713 HD3 SD1 relating to school impact fees. It prohibits the Land Use Commission from imposing exactions from a residential development for educational purposes. It repeals school impact fees and abolishes school impact fee subaccounts within the school facilities special fund and transfers unencumbered balances to the school facilities special fund. It abolishes the fair share contribution and impact fee accounts within the Department of Education, donations and facilities trust, and transfers unencumbered balances to the school facilities special fund. Provides that any existing educational contribution agreements executed with the Department of Education or School Facilities Authority before the repeal of school impact fees shall remain in effect. Transfers existing educational contribution agreements from the Department of Education to the School Facilities Authority and repeals a requirement for the School Facilities Authority to report to the legislature. It also appropriates funds from the School Facilities Special Fund. The SD1 version is effective 7/1/3000. Ms. Kwan, is there any written public testimony submitted on this matter?
No, Mr. Chair.
Ms. Kwan, is there any member of the public that wishes to provide verbal testimony at this time?
Seeing none in the Q&A feature, Chair.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Kwan. Mr. Odenker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is kind of interesting because we were not involved with this bill. It didn't even reference us up until the last draft, and where it now added new language that affects HRS 2054, and it would prohibit us from creating exactions for residential development to the benefit of DOE. In the past, what we've usually done with regard to district boundary amendments is either based on DOE's request, either required the developer to give a grant of land, as in this Haseko motion that was in front of us today, or provide funds. This bill would eliminate our ability to do that in its current form.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ordenker. Commissioners, any questions or discussion on this bill?
I got a question,
Yes,
Chair.
Commissioner Haley.
For Director Arndenker, what position did SFA take? The School Facilities Authority?
I'm not sure, that we weren't totally, divorced from any activity on this bill until all of a sudden we popped up in the last draft. I'm not sure what position they took.
Commissioner Haley, I did watch the hearing, and the School Facilities Authority's position is that since the DOE has collected roughly 20 million in school impact fees, but haven't spent any of it, and it's difficult for them to spend it because it has to be spent in that district, and there's other requirements, that they felt that that money should be transferred to the School Facilities Authority to let them be the ones to build the schools, and they could build it in any district, and they have more latitude.
Thank you. I was just curious. Thanks.
Oh, good question. Any other questions on this agenda item? Vice Chair Carr Smith, and then Commissioner Miyasato.
I was just wondering if staff is planning on testifying on this tomorrow, and if so, how?
We have no plans to testify on it. Measures like this, we believe, are the purview of the legislature. If they want to remove our ability to provide exactions, that's a DOE issue, not a land use commission issue, and so we have no plans to testify.
Okay, Commissioner Miyasato.
So if I understand this correctly, there would be no impact fee or land contribution required at all?
In its current form, yes.
Yeah, that could, if I may clarify, that was asked by the senators, and the School Facilities Authority answered that in that situation, then the senators themselves or the legislature themselves would have to appropriate money out of general funds to fund any schools, including buying any land.
Yeah. I mean, the legislature in its infinite wisdom, as they say.
Any other questions, discussion? Okay, we'll now have a second round of public testimony for any new or additional comments only. For anyone participating via Zoom, please notify the chief clerk using the Q&A feature. Ms. Kwan, are there any requests to testify?
No, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Kwan. I will now move to agenda item number 4, the adoption of the minutes. This next order of business is the approval of the March 11, 2026 meeting minutes. Ms. Kwan, is there any written testimony received on those minutes?
No, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Are there any members of the public that wish to testify on this agenda item, Ms. Kwan?
Seeing none in the Q&A feature, Chair.
Okay, commissioners, are there any corrections or comments to the March 11 minutes?
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
I'll
Mr.
be
Yamane.
not voting because I was not present at this meeting.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yamane. All right, if there's no further comments, corrections, or discussion, then is there a motion now to approve the March 11 minutes?
Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve.
Commissioner Kahele, move to adopt the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Miyasato seconds. If there are no objections, by acclamation, the minutes are approved. Thank you. All right, agenda item number 5 is the tentative meeting schedule. This next agenda item is to be discussed by Mr. Ordenker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the 22nd of April, we will be in Kona at the King Kamehameha Hotel for the remand to the LUC on DR 21-73, which is Honolulu Hideaway. On May 13th, will be on Kauai at the Hilton Garden Inn for SP 26-416, which is AES Solar. This is pending their filing. They have to file their, the county has to provide us with the record and full record by May 4th, I believe it is. On Thursday, May 14th, we will be again on Kauai at the Hilton Garden Inn for A 89-6636, which is Grove Farms motion to amend. On June 3rd, we will be on Maui at the MAC, Maui Arts and Cultural Center for SP 92-380 Punene Quarry. This is also pending filings by the county to complete the record on that matter. On Thursday, the 4th, we will be at the Maui Arts and Cultural Center for DR 26-79. That's the Komar Maui Properties 1 LLC declaratory ruling. On June 24th, we will be on Oahu for the annual evaluation of the executive officer and the re-election of officers. And that's as far as we go on the calendar. It was June 24.
What was the fourth? June 4th after Pune?
That's Komar Maui Properties LLC. Komar, Komar.
Commissioners, do you have any other questions? Commissioners, any further questions? Okay, seeing none, thank you very much. The next Land Use Commission meeting is scheduled for April 22nd and will be held in Kona. And due to the demanding schedule required to complete LUC business, I would like to request that meals be provided as a working lunch as part of an integral part of the meeting. Mr. Orodenker, will you have LUC staff please make the necessary arrangements for the working lunch?
We will do so, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. All right, well, this concludes our meeting. Vice Chair Carr Smith and Commissioners, thank you very much. Commissioner Uu, thank you very much. This meeting is now adjourned.
Aloha.